1511. I move that we take up and consider Senate Bill number 1511 under Committee Report number 15. I so move, Mr. President.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved.
This is an act strengthening the protection of patients against hospital detention on grounds of non-payment of hospital bills. Napakalaga po ito. This is a happy bill. As I always say, the measures of Senator Risa are happy bills and hopefully help our patients be rid of these type of hostage situations by
Correct,
hospitals,
yes.
Mr. President. May we recognize the sponsor, Senator Risa Ontiveros, to sponsor the measure and to make amendments. We have the following: the Senate President, Senator Pia Cayetano, Senator Joel Villanueva, and Senator Robin Hood Padilla. So again, may we recognize the sponsor. And would you like to make the amendments, Mr. President?
I'll just submit my amendments to...
We'll open the period of committee amendments
Yeah.
first, Mr. President.
So we recognize a good sponsor,
Thank you very
Senator
much.
Risa Ontiveros, and to amend, these are committee amendments?
Yes, Mr. President.
Yes, we recognize the good sponsor, Senator Risa Ontiveros.
Salamat po, Mr. President. These are the committee amendments for Senate Bill 1511, the Anti-Hospital Detention Act. So to reiterate the proposed amendment from the good Senate President, on page 3, line 22, after the word development, delete the colon and the phrase, provided further that those patients who are partially recovered shall sign a waiver or undertaking that they are assuming the risk of the consequences for requesting for discharge despite having not fully recovered. I so move, Mr. President.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, amendments are carried.
Thank you, Mr. President. Now, to reiterate the proposed amendment in response to Senator Pia Cayetano, still on page 3, line 22, after the word development, insert the phrase, and the Department of Health provided further that in such cases, a guarantee letter from the Department of Social Welfare and Development, DSWD, or the Department of Health, DOH, sufficient to cover the amount due, shall be submitted in lieu of a promissory note, provided finally that the DSWD and DOH, in coordination with relevant hospital authorities, shall issue guidelines defining the criteria for indigency, endorsement process, and documentation required to qualify under this exemption. Subject to style, I so move, Mr.
Is
President.
there any objection? Senator Pia?
Yes, Mr. President.
This was the
Intervention?
subject of a long discussion, so can I just have it in writing so I can follow?
Yes, will do, Mr. President. My legis will provide the good gentle lady a copy in writing.
Yes. Any objection to the amendment? You have to... okay. So we'll skip this amendment so that Senator Pia can review the amendment. So we'll skip that first and then we'll go back to that later on.
Yes, Mr. President. Moving on to amendments on page 4. This amendment, Mr. President, is from Senator Erwin Tulfo. If he prefers to read his amendment, I can yield the floor to him. So I'll proceed, Mr. President. Salamat kay Senator Erwin. On page 4, line 3, after the second word act, comma, add the phrase, except those properties primarily used for their livelihood, to wit, a mortgage over real or personal property of the patient, a relative, or a co-maker without the need of public auction. In accordance with Republic Act number 11057, otherwise known as the Personal Property Security Act, except those properties primarily used for their livelihood. I so move, Mr.
Is
President.
there any objection? Senator Pia has an objection or a comment?
Yeah, not an objection. I just want to understand. So, the amendment is an exception. So, for context, the section, the relevant section is section 2 that starts on page 3. The promissory note shall be secured by any or a combination of the following. Letter A mortgage over real or personal property of the patient, a relative, or a co-maker without need of a public auction. And then there's exception after that, right?
Yes, Mr. President. Oh, I'm sorry, unless Senator Erwin would like
Yeah,
to
anyone, I just want to understand.
answer
So,
this question. Yes,
So-
Mr. President, Senator Erwin would like to be recognized.
We recognize the
Thank you, Mr. President. To answer the query of the gentle lady from Taguig, that is correct. Properties or equipment that is being used for livelihood by the patient or relative of the patient should not be made as collateral.
okay, so bawal.
Bawal.
So kahit gusto ng pasyente na gamitin yon, bawal. Hindi pwedeng tanggapin yon.
Kasi panghanap buhay niya yun.
Correct. So I'm just clarifying na yun yun. So kahit gusto pa nilang gawin, kung yun lang yung mabibigyan, it's our way of securing that itong essential for their survival eh hindi maialok as a parang gano'n na nga.
Actually, to clearly state under letter A mortgage over real or personal property of the patient, a relative or a co-maker without need of public auction in accordance with Republic Act number 11057, otherwise known as Personal Property Security Act, except those properties primarily used for their livelihood. But that is just for letter A.
Yeah, I just
my
wanted
dear
to
colleague.
understand the basis for that amendment. I'm okay with it. No objection,
All right.
Mr. President.
All right, thank you, Senator Pia. Any objection? Hearing none, the amendment of the sponsors carried.
Salamat po, Mr. President, at sa good gentle lady from Taguig and Pateros.
Yeah, okay. So-
And just for the record,
sorry.
Mr. President, to add to the explanation made by the proponent of the amendment, ito pong amendment proposed ni Senator Erwin ay para siguruhin natin na kung may mga secondary properties na gagamitin ng pasyente o ng pamilya nila bilang collateral sa isang promissory note, hindi po tatanggapin bilang collateral yung mga pagmamayari na precisely ginagamit nila pangunahin sa paghahanap buhay. Kasi pag yun po
Exactly.
pasailalim sa isang mortgage ay talagang baka mapilay na ang kakayahan nila na buhay ng kanilang
So,
pamilya.
lalo silang
Mr.
lulubog.
President.
Lalo
Pong
lulubog.
lulubog. Opo,
Yes, Mr.
Mr.
President.
President.
All right, so we're now on page 3.
We are still on page 4, Mr. President.
Mr.
Actually, that's
President,
page 3
yeah.
going to page 4, but yes,
Yeah,
Senator
just
Pia.
to clarify, the majority floor leader was mouthing to me because he wasn't using the mic line by line. So I leave that up to the sponsor, and then I think that's what we're doing. That's fine.
Yeah.
But may I just put on record that I had reserved my right to interpolate when we went into the period of amendment. So bear with me lang po kasi